Are you an independent author with an incredible story to share? Are you afraid your book will get lost in a sea of books? True Vine Publishing Company can help you stand out. We're not just a publishing service, we're your partner in success. We provide personalized marketing strategies and eye-catching covers that will captivate your audience. We will build your author platform and connect with your readers. We have helped countless authors achieve success, and we can help you too. Break free from the shadows, take control of your publishing journey, and make your mark. Visit TrueVinePublishing.com or call 615-44-BOOKS to schedule a consultation.
Hello, this is Timothy Bond with True Vine Publishing Company, and you're watching the next episode of The Right Change, where my guest today is Amanda Bach, author of Forged. Amanda, how are you today?
I am good. I am happy to be here.
I'm excited to have you on the show as well. Excited to share your amazing story. You know, I read your book, and some people are walking miracles because they've gone through a lot of physical trauma, sickness, crashes. You have gone through so much emotional and spiritual and physical, like you've gone through so much, and to come out with the perspective that you have, and such a sweet spirit that you have. I mean, you're a walking miracle. You're a walking miracle. As I read this book, it's like, wow, you know. And we'll talk about some of the things that, you know, I took notice of, perspectives that I took notice of. But the first thing I'd like to do is give you an opportunity to just share a little bit about who is Amanda Bach.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, Tim, I will say first and foremost, I'm human. I'm definitely a mom. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a friend. But overall, like, I'm a spiritual being. Mm-hmm. And I think everything that I've gone through that is in the book, it's really helped create who I am today. Mm-hmm. And so I'm here. I'm a human experiencing a human experience.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
No, that does. And if a lot of us could really come to understand the depth of that, really, you know, and stop trying to be what everyone expects us to be, or be in some box, you know, and just understand that who I am is okay, you know.
That's right.
This is my experience, right? And what people say is good or bad, like, no, this is my experience. I'm living it. I'm a human being, you know.
That's right. I kind of went through that even before I hopped on the channel, on the podcast, and mm-hmm. I was like, no, you know, everybody can be glamorized and they can get on YouTube and they can do these podcasts, but it's like, no, I think what people look for is just really for you to be your authentic self.
Right.
And that's what makes it so authentic, so real. And that's how you can relate with people. Yeah. So that's why I was like, nope, I'm going to get on and I'm going to be myself and I'm going to share my story and kind of go from there.
So let's talk about this story, Forged, because you have truly been forged. You've gone through the fire and come out strong. First of all, take us through, like, with all that you've gone through and some of the things that you share in your book, people would feel like, I don't want to share that. How did you get to the point of saying, you know what, I got to tell this story?
I think, honestly, for a long time, just growing up and going through the stuff that I've gone through, it's really been held back. Like, I've always been scared to kind of just express that. And, you know, a lot of people, I guess you want to call your throat chakra is closed, right? Like, mm-hmm. But I think you come to a point to where you can no longer hold on to that. Mm-hmm. And the emotional and the trauma that you've been through, you have to be able to release it. And when you're a kid, You go through so much, but as you grow into an adult, if you don't release that, it's going to stick with you. And so it was time. It was time to share it, and I had to get it out. I had to share it, and I will say this: by sharing that story, it has brought, in the experiences that I've gone through, it's brought a lot of healing, not only for myself but for my family too, and the people, even just my closest friends and the people around me.
No, you said that that love, people, and moments in life were meant to flow freely, not gripped with fear of losing them.
That's
In that
right.
realization, something inside me softened. I stopped chasing. I stopped grasping. I simply allowed what was meant to stay and trust that what isn't will find its way out. I know now that you are the love you give, and that is enough. And that to me was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Tim, honestly, I think that a lot of people, you have to go through something to be able to experience that.
Yeah.
And I think in life, pain is inevitable, but I think that sometimes it's meant to wake you up and not hurt you.
Hmm.
And everybody goes through pain, but you have a choice to either be happy or not, right?
Hmm.
Like you can
Hmm.
choose to be happy, or you can choose to dwell in the situation that you're in.
Hmm.
When I wrote that, it was really coming from a place on, you can't force anybody to do anything, but what you do have control over is yourself, and your character and your morals and your values, and how you choose to react to everyday life.
Hmm. Let's talk about what you've been through. If you, I mean, it's in the book, so I
It
would
is.
assume
It's out
that
there. It's out
I can say it.
there.
Physical abuse. You witnessed your mother murder your father.
Yeah. It wasn't she it wasn't murder.
Okay.
But she did, like, she ran him over. But they're growing up in the household that I grew up in. A lot of people would say that it was a beautiful home. We had everything that we needed. My mom and my dad have always kept, I guess, materialistic wise, we had everything that we needed, right? But you can't judge a book by its cover.
Mm-hmm.
On the inside, when everybody was gone and when it was just me and my sister and my mom and my dad, there was a lot of abuse. My dad was an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first, I want to say, 5 years, of my life, I really remember having a great childhood. But then it got to a point to where he was abusive,
Mm-hmm.
and he would drink, and my mom and dad would argue a lot. And there would be nights where, when those arguments would happen, me and my sister would call the police and we'd run to the neighbors, and that was like a status quo, and it was a cycle, and it was a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but every time got worse.
Mm-hmm.
Every time got worse, and then it came to a point to where I think my mom got tired.
Mm-hmm.
And when the police finally showed up at that last moment, or that last, situation that happened, they knew, because of all the previous moments,
Mm-hmm.
they knew what she had gone through, and they kind of gave her grace,
Mm-hmm.
so. But yeah, it was not an easy childhood growing up, but it was real. It
Yeah.
was real.
How did you learn to trust? Come to learn to trust? Because when the man who should protect you most, your father, becomes more of a terror in your life, and then you talk about how you grew up and you started going to church, and then the church abused you and mistreated you and mocked you. As I'm reading your book, I'm like,
Wow.
this woman should be like, like really messed up. Like, because everywhere you turned, every man you became in a relationship with, everywhere you turned was betrayal and like, how did you get through it? How did you come out on the other side?
I think the first thing I want to say is, I've thought a lot about that and a lot of the stuff that I've gone through. And I want to make it clear, I'm definitely not a victim, right?
Okay.
Definitely not a victim. A lot of people will portray that when you're reading the book, but I choose to do different.
Mhm.
I chose to come out of that and do better. when I found love within myself and understood that I was enough, to be honest, and this is raw, but it's really been within the last couple years.
Mm.
It's really been within the last couple years, and I think after the relationships and the cycles and the patterns that you go through, you start to understand that you really attract what you accept, right? And so by accepting a lot of things in my life that I could have chose differently, I made a change.
Mm.
I made a change. And even though I didn't see it, as I was growing up, or because, you can be a product of your environment, and so as you're young, when you're younger, you really don't have a choice because of the people that you live with or your family. But as you get older, you do.
Mhm.
And so as I've gotten older, I've really had to step back and look at, okay, well, what am I allowing?
Mhm.
What am I allowing? And it's really taught me how to love myself wholly,
Mhm.
and um, how I deserve to be loved.
Yeah.
And nobody else can take that, whether it's a man, whether it's family, whether, my source is God,
Mhm.
right? And the faith that I have within him, and the energy that I get from him, and understanding that I'm enough with him.
Mhm.
And so that's huge for me.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't see that. And it took me a long time. It took me a long time to overcome that,
Yeah.
but I did.
Can I tell you, everybody has different experiences, right?
Yeah.
But and my experiences have not been anywhere near what you've experienced, right? But I think we all have to come to that point in life, no matter if you have small problems or big problems. We all have to come to that point in life where we take responsibility for our lives. It's not saying that what somebody did to us was okay, that it was our fault, but just like you said, I'm not going to be the victim.
That's right.
Meaning, I'm taking control of the narrative. I'm taking control of everything that has happened in my life. I'm going to sort it and make it work for me, as opposed to saying, well, because this person did this or that person did that, I can't help, where I am in life. And that's what it sounds like you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I could have been like, oh, woe is me
Hmm.
through a lot of that stuff. And for a long time, I did. For a
Hmm.
long time, I did. I let the emotions control me. Um, oh, why is this happening to me? Why did I deserve that? But I had to understand that I'm a real big, and I'm a huge believer in, God, source energy, law of attraction, the universe, right? And I don't know if we should discuss that here.
Yes, we absolutely should. We
but
absolutely should.
I believe, like, if you what you are allowing is what you're accepting in your life, you're allowing. I do believe that our reality is really a mirror on what we're portraying.
Right.
And it does talk about that in the word, about how we grow up, and you're like a mirror. And so in different scriptures it talks about that, but it's universal.
Hmm.
And so I believe what we allow in our life, we're a mirror, and what we're going to allow is what we're going to attract.
Hmm.
And so what we're putting out is what we're so is in, so is about,
Right.
and
Yeah.
so, and I believe that wholeheartedly. And so I chose to do different, and I'm not going to be that victim,
Hmm.
and I am going to be the love that I give.
Yeah.
And I am the love that I
Mhm.
give. And it took a hard time. It took a lot to understand that. But I think that, after I wrote the book and it came to terms with that, that was like huge for me.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it was great to understand that, because now I can kind of help other people and my kids to understand that. And even though it's such an easy concept to talk about, until you really experience it, you're really not going to understand it.
Yeah. No, I'm on the same journey path that you're on. Now, like I said, I've not gone through the different things, but we all have things that shape us in our lives, negative
Mhm.
things that we can use and say, because of this, I can't achieve this, or because of this, I can never get over whatever. But I'm in that same place of understanding that, you know, I am one with God, right?
Yeah.
And every solution I need, every answer I need, the way I think creates. my reality, all of that. Like we're so in line with that. And I can just tell, like you talk about your aunt telling you that there was something, special about you, that you were
Yeah.
gonna break, that you were gonna break the chains, right?
Yeah.
And I see it. I can see it in your story and in your life. Just becoming a different version of what you had experienced so that your kids can see something new, something different.
Yeah, it's been a beautiful journey for sure.
Mhm.
I think that overall, the biggest message that I had coming from it was not only what we just talked about, but really every we're all going through something,
Mhm.
and whatever we're going through doesn't make the other person's any less.
Mhm.
And I'm huge on just love,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? Like just love. And if people want to walk out of your life and want to treat you a certain way and want to do things to you, it doesn't mean that you have to be reactive.
Yeah.
And you can choose to do different. And you can choose to and there, talking about my book, there's two different parts in it, and obviously you know that. But the first part is really my memoir and everything that I've gone through. But that second part is really just about how what's helped me overcome.
Mhm.
And I think a lot is accepting the fact that you've definitely gone through everything that you've gone through, but then really putting that to use
Mhm.
and really finding the grace and forgiving yourself for the stuff that you've allowed in your life and to just make a change.
Mhm.
Make a change. You can choose to get out of that situation or make a different choice. And some people don't look at that. They just continue to repeat the cycle and repeat the pattern. And it's about not giving up.
You talk about forgiving yourself, not being a victim, right? You share in the book that you had to give up multiple children for adoption, right?
Yeah. I gave up it was one son that I gave up. I have four kids.
Okay.
I have four children, and they I have a 24, a 22. The one that is an open adoption, he just turned 19.
Okay.
And then my youngest is 15.
Okay.
Um, but the one that I went through the adoption with, it was definitely a God thing.
Hmm.
It was definitely a God thing. Although I made the decision to have a relationship with somebody that was at a marriage, that was at the church, and I didn't choose for him to walk away.
Hmm.
He made that decision, but being a single mom at that time, I couldn't. I felt in my heart that I was struggling,
Hmm.
and I'm I'm open about it. I was completely struggling, and I felt at that time that I couldn't provide for him like I needed to. But I will tell you, looking at it now and understanding that he's an adult and he has had the best family,
Hmm.
it was definitely a God thing. Although I'm his biological mom, I wasn't meant to raise him,
Hmm.
and but I'm completely open and I'm okay with that because he has a great life, and my kids do too. My other children, they do too. But it's beautiful to see.
Oh, he
It
was.
really is beautiful.
So that was your third child. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, but and I know you say you watch from afar. Do you stay in contact with him
I
or?
do. I do.
Okay.
Actually, when the adoption happened, it was I got to pick the family.
Okay.
And it was an open adoption.
Hmm.
And so there's definitely been contact throughout his life.
Hmm.
When I graduated college, they came and they watched me graduate college.
Hmm.
Um, he's actually on my TikTok. He follows me on my TikTok, and so it's very open.
Hmm.
I get to see him play soccer from afar and live his life. But he's a great kid. He is
Hmm.
a great kid, and I really believe that he's gonna. I feel like because I was able to like step outside of myself and want better for him,
Right.
he's gonna go extremely far.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do believe that.
Yeah. It takes a lot to, it clearly from your story, you didn't give him up because you don't want to take responsibility, right? You had two children you were taking care of, but you saw that the life you wanted for him, you were not going to be able to provide it. And so,
Yeah.
you know, I would speak to the people who may be dealing with that, dealing with having to either make the choice or who have made the choice and the heartache that comes with that, and then the healing that you. How did you find the healing?
I really think if anybody's going through that, and single moms, particularly single women who have found themselves in a situation that the father is not around or they're struggling, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to make that choice and to find help that you need. There are wonderful adoption agencies out there that will help you find a plan. There is open adoption. There's also closed adoption, but there is open adoption out there. And I think what for me was really eye opening is that a lot of women can't have kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so being able to provide that type of selfless love to somebody and give a life to somebody who can't have children, like that was everything to me.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that I was struggling and I was already a single mom raising two kids on my own, struggling financially,
Mm-hmm.
and working a full-time job, running them back and forth to daycare, struggling with food. Like I felt like there was no way at that time in my mind that it was possible for me to take care of a third kid.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are going through that, like it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. And you will get out and you will heal from it. And and I think overall it's just a selfless love.
Mm-hmm. Did you have that conversation with him?
Honestly, Tim, it's straightforward. I have not yet.
Oh, wow.
I have not. But I do feel like eventually it will come.
So he knows that you're his mother, though.
He definitely knows.
You all
And
just didn't have that.
we have not had that conversation, but I'm sure he's read my book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that, I have talked to him through message several times. He knows how I feel.
Okay.
He knows why I did what I did.
Okay.
But when he's ready, I'll be ready.
Yeah.
You
say in the book, I found strength in the very places I once felt shattered. That is really, really strong. Like the places that were the most destructive are now places of strength for you.
Yeah.
How is that? Explain that.
I think once you go through stuff that I've gone through, or any type of trauma, and you come out on that other side, you kind of tend to look back. If you're doing the healing, right? Like you have to be doing the inner work. Mm-hmm. Like you can't just you have to be doing the inner work. So if that's, if anything I could say on this is like, you can't just idly sit by, you have to heal yourself. Like you have to do that work. Mm-hmm. But I think you can actually come out and look, from on the outside, looking back after everything you've gone through, and just be like, wow, that really shaped me, and be grateful for the experiences that you've had, because it did make you a different person. And that's where I'm at right now. Like on my walks in the morning and the sun's on my face, like I'm so grateful, even after I've gone through everything, like I'm so grateful just for the little things. Mm-hmm. And everything that I have now, because it's made me the person who I am. And hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy, but I'm proud of who I am. Yeah. And it's a process. Mm-hmm. It's a process for sure.
This is has been so encouraging. I know that this can help people. Get this book, Forged, by Amanda Bach.
Yeah.
You can get it on TrueVine.com. You can contact her directly, get that signed, autographed copy. But let's get the word out. Tell people how they can get in contact with you and follow you and learn more about Amanda.
Yeah, you can reach me. I'm really on all the different social media platforms. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, TikTok. It's really my first and last name, so it's under Amanda May 84. My profiles are public. So if you ever have questions or just want to talk, I'm definitely here.
You said Amanda.
It's Amanda May. So it's
Amanda May.
Yeah, Amanda May.
Amanda May?
Yep.
Manda.
And then M-A-Y. Yep.
Okay. And that's on Facebook, Instagram,
TikTok.
Amanda May. Okay, yep. Great. People, I want you to like, and share this video. Let's get the word out about Amanda Bach, her book, Forged. It is a powerful book, a healing book, and it can change people's lives. I do believe this is a book that can save lives. I believe that with all my heart.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. We gotta get the word out. Amanda, thank you first of all for the opportunity to help you get this message out, and thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for all your help.
All right, you have a good one.
You too. Thank you so much.